Good evening and welcome to our daily devotional reading. I hope you had or are having a good day. A special welcome to the members of our monastery, those commenting and or subscribed. It's really good to have you here. I'm really happy that you can sometimes use my voice, my presence in a way, even to simply relax. Calm your nervous systems. That's a big thing nowadays and desperately needed. A good way also to calm your nervous system is to just take a few deep breaths. So let's take one together. To help us turn inward, slow down, open our hearts and our minds, and listen to Plato. Socrates. Then once more what shall we say that knowledge is? For we are not going to lose heart as yet. Theaetetus, certainly. I shall not lose heart if you do not. Socrates. What definition will be most consistent with our former views? Theaetetus. I cannot think of any but our old one, Socrates. Socrates. And what was that? Theaetetus. Knowledge was said by us to be true opinion. And true opinion is surely unerring, and the result which follow from it are all noble and good. The Greek noble can be translated often as either beautiful or noble. So the true is both beautiful and good. Socrates. He who led the way into the river, Theaetetus, said, the experiment will show. And perhaps if we go forward in the search, we may stumble upon the thing which we are looking for. But if we stay where we are, nothing will come to light. Theaetetus. Very true. Let us go forward and try. Socrates. The trail soon comes to an end, for a whole profession is against us. Theaetetus. How is that? And what profession do you mean? Socrates. The profession of the great wise ones who are called orators and lawyers, for these persuade men by their art and make them think whatever they like, but they do not teach them. Do you imagine that there are any teachers in the world so clever as to be able to convince others of the truth about acts of robbery or violence, of which they were not eyewitnesses, while a little water is flowing in the clepsydra? A clepsydra, I looked it up, is a water clock, an ancient timepiece that measures time by the regulated flow of water into or out of a vessel, originating in antiquity as early as the 16th century BC in Egypt. I do believe, but I might be mistaken, that Plato used this to waking up in the morning because he had lectures at dawn. He might have used another wake-up alarm system, but I think it was this. It used to regulate, still definition found online, it used to regulate markings to indicate passing hours. They were crucial for timing speeches in Greek courts and determining night hours. Theaetetus. Certainly not, they can only persuade them, so they can't teach them, they can only persuade them. Socrates. And would you not say that persuading them is making them have an opinion? Theaetetus. To be sure. Socrates. Then, therefore, judges are justly persuaded about matters which you can know only by seeing them, and not in any other way. And when thus judging of them from report, they attain a true opinion about them, they judged without knowledge, and yet are rightly persuaded, if they have judged well. Theaetetus. Certainly. Socrates. And yet, O my friend, if true opinion in law courts and knowledge are the same, the perfect judge could not have judged rightly without knowledge, and therefore I must infer that they are not the same. Theaetetus. That is a distinction, Socrates, which I have heard made by someone else, but I had forgotten it. He said that true opinion combined with reason, logos, was knowledge, but that the opinion which had no reason was out of the sphere of knowledge, and that things of which there is no rational account are not knowable. Such was the singular expression which he used, and that things which have a reason or explanation are knowable. Socrates. Excellent. But then how did he distinguish between things which are and are not knowable? I wish that you would repeat to me what he said, and then I shall know whether you and I have heard the same tale. Theaetetus. I do not know whether I can recall it, but if another person would tell me, I think that I could follow him. Socrates. Let me give you then a dream in return for a dream. Methought that I too had a dream, and I heard in my dream that the primeval letters and or elements out of which you and I and all other things are compounded have no reason or explanation. You can only name them, but no predicate can be either affirmed or denied of them. For in the one case existence, in the other non-existence is already implied, neither of which must be added, if you mean to speak of this or that thing by itself alone. It should not be called itself, or that, or each, or alone, or this, or the like. For these go about everywhere and are applied to all things, but are distinct from them. Whereas in the first elements, if the first elements could be described and had a definition of their own, they would be spoken of apart from all else. But none of these primeval elements can be defined. They can only be named. For they have nothing but a name, and the things which are compounded of them as they are complex, are expressed by a combination of names. For the combination of names is the essence of a definition. Thus, then, the elements or letters are only objects of perception and cannot be defined or known. But the syllables or combinations of them are known and expressed, and are apprehended by true opinion. When, therefore, anyone forms the true opinion of anything without rational explanation, you may say that his mind is truly exercised, but has no knowledge. For he who cannot give and receive a reason for a thing has no knowledge of that thing, but when he adds rational explanation, then he is perfected in knowledge, and may all that I have been denying, and may be all that I have been denying of him. Was that the form in which the dream appeared to you? Theaetetus, precisely. Socrates. And you allow and maintain that true opinion combined with definition or rational explanation, logos, is knowledge. Theaetetus. Exactly. Socrates. Then may we assume, Theaetetus, that today, and in this casual manner, we have found a truth which in former times many wise men have grown old and have not found? Theaetetus. At any rate, Socrates, I am satisfied with the present statement, as am I. It moves me deeply. Socrates, which is probably correct, for how can there be knowledge apart from definition and true opinion? And yet there is one point in what has been said which does not quite satisfy me. Socrates. Theaetetus, what was it? Socrates. What might seem to be the most ingenious notion of all, that the elements or letters are unknown, but the combination or syllables known. And was that wrong? We shall soon know, for we have as hostages the instances which the author of the argument himself used. What hostages? The letters, which are the clemens, I imagine it should be elements, and the syllables, which are the combinations. He reasoned, did he not, from the letters of the alphabet? Yes, he did. Let us take them and put them to their test, or rather test ourselves. What was the way in which we learned letters? And first of all, are we right in saying that syllables have a definition, but that letters have no definition? I think so. Socrates, I think so too. For suppose that someone asks you to spell the first syllable of my name, Theaetetus. He says, what is so? I should reply S and O. That is the definition which you would give of the syllable? I should. I wish that you would give me a similar definition of S. But how can anyone, Socrates, tell the elements of an element? I can only reply that S is a consonant, a mere noise, as the tongue hissing. B and most other letters, again, are neither vowel sounds nor noises. Thus letters may be most truly said to be undefined, for even the most distinct of them, which are the 7 vowels, have a sound only, but no definition at all. Socrates, then I suppose, my friend, that we have been so far right in our idea about knowledge. Yes, I think that we have. Socrates, well, but have we been right in maintaining that the syllables can be known, but not the letters? Theaetetus, I think so. And do we mean by a syllable 2 letters? Or if there are more, all of them? Or a single idea which arises out of the combination of them? I should say Theaetetus, I should say that we mean all the letters. Socrates, take the case of the 2 letters S and O, which form the first syllable of my own name. Must not he who knows the syllable know both of them? Theaetetus, certainly. Socrates, he knows, that is, the S and the O. Theaetetus, yes. Socrates, but can he be ignorant of either singly and yet know both together? Theaetetus, such a supposition, Socrates, is monstrous and unmeaning. Socrates, but if he cannot know both without knowing each, then if he is ever to know the syllable, he must know the letters first, and thus the fine theory has again taken wings and departed. Theaetetus, yes, with wonderful celerity. Quick. Socrates, yes, we do not keep watch properly. Perhaps we ought to have maintained that a syllable is not the letters, but rather one single idea framed out of them, having a separate form distinct from them. Theaetetus, very true, and a more likely notion than the other. Socrates, take care. Let us not be cowards and betray a great and imposing theory. Theaetetus, no, indeed. Thus far, scripture of the evening. Oh, I wanted to comment on the reference to the experiment of the river. There's a story I read in the footnote of the other translation of a man who stood beside a river, and people who had to go to the other side asked him, are the waters deep? And he said, go and see. The way will show you. You will know if you go through. I thought it was a lovely passage. I marked it to read it again. I am going to read it again. I hope I do not accidentally put stuff off, because I do that sometimes. He who led the way into the river, Theaetetus, said the experiment will show. And perhaps if we go forward in the search, we may stumble upon the thing which we are looking for. But if we stay where we are, nothing will come to light. An invitation to seek that maybe you will find. This passage also made it quite clear why Socrates and or Plato was quite unhappy with the sophists and the lawyers, the people about town, the people who ran the show. and convince people through their words, because of the distinction between teaching and persuading. A very, very dangerous and important, dangerously forgotten and important to remember distinction. That those who are good at persuading may come with wind eggs. And one should be careful not to listen to them, but to the ones who genuinely teach. What is knowable? True opinion combined with reason, or the logos. The passage of the dream within a dream, two dreams speaking to each other, really moved me, touched my heart. I could feel my heart swell. But I can't speak of it. Not until we're allowed to be a little bit more esoteric. The referring to the syllables and the letters made me think of one of the things that I've often seen John show and allow me a little bit of woo-hoo. I find it fascinating how I immediately recognized Socrates in him without either knowing his work that deeply as I knew it after the 3 years, nor knowing Plato or Socrates. And then going through Socrates now, through Plato now, I keep seeing John Vervaeke everywhere. He has these thing that he does like the cat, and then he writes the H and the A exactly the same. But we are able to distinguish, we know what is the way we should read it because of the word. So we know the letter by the word and we know the word by the letter. And for a deeper explanation of what exactly that means, go watch the series Awakening from the Meaning Crisis. I have more written down, but I think I will stop with Plato there for the day. But I do want to share some exciting news about my own life, my own journey. I started today, finally, the brothers Karamazov. Only the introduction. I am scared shitless, to be honest. I did not know that a monastery played a role in this. I know it basically, the name, through Jordan Peterson, and the story a little bit about from Folly, whenever he waxed lyrically about it. I don't think he ever mentioned the monastery. I might be mistaken. I don't think Jordan ever mentioned the story at all. At least I haven't seen anything. Maybe there's clips online where he's talking about, but all I've ever heard from him about the story is read it. And Jordan, you would be happy to hear that our boy Joseph has me reading the brothers Karamazov. I do believe it will be a fateful read. He speaks here of where is it? Of how the prison changed him. And my heart's even beating faster now. I feel this book will have an inner significance that involves the whole of my fate, personality, and soul. but I'm looking forward to it. I also finally started with my other boys' book, or Sophia's other boys' book. I absolutely adore the boys' writing style, and it's also quite relevant to knowledge and how we build knowledge, how we structure knowledge, and knowledge is something that needs time to develop. And he writes here that he's giving the scaffolding of a sort for delving deeper and seeing deeper into culture. And I think, so I'm going to read a quote, just one line from the first page on the prelude. This is the real purpose of education, not knowing for the sake of knowing, but knowing in order to live well and do right, to understand both yourself and the world better. So I'm really looking forward to this. I am going to read both of them relatively slowly. One passage on my days off, which will be for this 49 days off. And for this 13 weeks, and this one till the end of the year. So it's going to be a very long journey, but I'm going to really take it slow and incorporate it into my soul. Oh, I hope that's wise, but I can't do otherwise. I'm going to go get ready and go explore the universe tonight. May the spirit of Sophia be with you.